We're here for Ask Junior. Yeah, I mean, you guys know that. I don't know why I'm telling you. But you'll notice, I don't know if you can see the whole table. Can they see the whole table?
No, but we could cut to it.
All right, we can pan to Kelly here. My sister Kelly is in the studio. Mike's on vacation, so Kelly's going to be here today for this episode. And our guest for the show is Kathy Watkins, our Aunt Kathy. She's going to talk about growing up in the Earnhardt household. And she was a racer, so a lot of cool stuff coming from her. Anyways, this Ask Junior segment brought to you by Xfinity X5. Xfinity's done so much for NASCAR. They're proud premier partner of NASCAR, and I'm a customer. I really enjoy the service, and I talk about it all the time. But, yeah, it's bulletproof. We've had no problems since I became a customer, I think 2.5 years ago. And no outages, no downtime. I've been pretty shocked, to be honest with you, because I've had internet for a really long time, and you just kind of get used to there's days when it just kind of drops out. There's something on their end or something on your end, and I've never had to deal with that with Xfinity so far. So pretty cool.
I need that in my area. I'm ready for it to drop from the satellite. So
yeah, where
that
you live.
I live in the boonies.
She doesn't have internet.
I have 3 megabyte internet. So come on, Xfinity
no
X5.
Kidding. Oh. She doesn't have like hard lines.
It's terrible.
Or any kind of the way to get internet where she lives is through satellite only. Yeah, and I've had that before on the bus, and it's tough.
Well, one clarification. So we do have a DSL line. Remember DSL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Lord is right.
Yeah.
So good internet is satellite, but it's iffy. Depending
on cloud cover and
exactly. So
do you have like cable packages then, or do you stream stuff?
Direct
I feel like
TV.
Streaming. Okay,
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like streaming would be impossible.
It is impossible, and that's the problem. Is like somebody can't stream, you can't iRace, I can't FaceTime Dale. Like
Xfinity.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah,
We need Xfinity.
Yeah, I need Xfinity.
We all need it.
Fiber, whatever it is that they cast down to me, something good.
X5.
Yep.
Give me something good.
That was a commercial right there. We love it.
Hannah's got y'all's questions y'all been sending in to Ask Junior, Brett Griffin's favorite part of the show. And you've been sending them to Xfinity Racing at Twitter, so let's hear them.
All right, the first one, busy weekend for the Junior Motorsports group. This question comes from Ricky Harden. What did you think of the Cars Tour race at Greenville Pickens? Your 2 drivers putting on one heck of a show with Lane Riggs. It was super fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. And Lane's been racing a while, but this year he's having a really competitive year. Got his car handling right, and he's wheeling it. It's been fun to watch Lane. He's Scott's son that used to race in the Cup Series. And Scott's prolific in late model stock ranks as well around the Mid-Atlantic region. That's kind of where he cut his teeth. So pretty fun to see the Riggs family competing and they teams like that and people like that make that series better, make late model stock racing better. But it was fun to go. It's fun to tune in and watch Josh get him a win. Carson Quapple's been running really well in our car. I think he's leading the points right now in the Cars Tour, so that's pretty exciting for him. It's been great to get to know Travis better and Carson and look forward to the rest of the year with that gang.
Yeah, I think Carson said he had something for Josh. Had that. No, we're not going to get into this, but their whole putting the person that calls the caution back in their spot and all that good stuff. Carson said he would have had something for Josh, so that'd been fun to watch.
It would have.
But it was a good race.
All righty, next one. From Brian, what does it mean to have the girls watch you race, knowing how you felt watching your dad race as a kid?
Well, I think it's more interesting and more enjoyable each year because they're a little bit older and a little bit more tuned into what's going on around them. The first couple of years that we took Isla to the Xfinity races that I was running, she wasn't really bringing anything. She wasn't creating memories for herself. She didn't know what was happening. She would see me in my suit. But not understand that I got in the car and was out on the track, while the race is going on. She's like, "Mom, where's Dad? What's he doing? Where's he at?" Well, he's in that car right there. You just saw him get in, and she couldn't understand.
Put it together, yeah.
And I think it's getting a little better this past weekend. I think she pulled a little bit more from it. So each year it gets better, and I guess that doesn't really matter that they don't understand. It's the images and the pictures that we have
that you're creating. Yeah.
Yeah. So when they get older and when they're my age, right, and they're looking at these images, they'll be like, wow, I can't believe I was there or whatever, right? They'll appreciate that. So because
she does know. Because like we were playing race cars at my house, and she says, "My daddy is a race car driver."
She
does know.
Knows some of it, but anyhow, I made the mistake of thinking, so Nicole is 1.5. She's totally not understanding what we're doing or why we're going or where we're going. Right? She doesn't know nothing about racing, and way too young. And I told Amy, I said, we could probably find a sitter to keep her. And Amy's like, no, like, why would you not want her there? I'm like, well, I just,
You were thinking that she could have a better time with a sitter.
I do want her there. No, I just was like, I do want her there, but I don't know, it's going to be a lot,
Yeah.
And Amy's like, no, she's going to get the same experience. She's going to be afforded the same experience and opportunities that Isla was afforded. So when I hear it that way, I think about it like, oh yeah, because when they are in their mid-20s, they're going to go, hey, wait, why wasn't I there?
Yeah.
You didn't take me? Wait, you took Isla, right? And they're going to do that, right? So I quickly understood, what was so important about having them both there. But
she likes the race cars too.
Yeah,
she
does.
likes the race cars.
Yeah. She was getting a little bit fussy though, and Amy didn't get to stay all the way till to the anthem or to the last possible minute on the grid, which was tough. But because
she likes to be on the go. I was watching from up in the suite, and like I saw Amy put her down, and I mean she just took off.
Yeah. She's busy.
She likes sitting in the seat and doing the steering wheel and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And I always like seeing those pictures too of like the kids, like your Chase Elliott's, your Blaney's, all those kids that like. They're littles, just in Victory Lane. It's like,
Baby
they don't remember those.
Blaney,
yeah, they don't remember them, but it's the pictures that always pop back up.
That's right.
Let's see here. We kind of talked about this today, but this comes from Burt Macklin. How are you going to stand there and let your driver drink a White Claw after the race?
I ain't worried about it. That's one more beer for me in that cooler. You can't. I was the same way when I was his age. I hated beer. I wasn't. When I was that young, I didn't like alcohol really that much. It was kind of, I had to, when I was at parties and stuff, I was really, really particular. Like I only want this one thing. So I kind of can't be too, can't be too critical of him. I remember, and y'all will laugh, man, when I went. So when we signed the Budweiser deal, right, was not a beer drinker at all. And we're going to like a big steakhouse in Charlotte with the Bush family and Dad. And I said to Dad on the way there, I said, am I going to have to drink a beer at this dinner? And he's like, damn right you are. And he's like, you get you a Bud Heavy and you sit there and you drink that beer. And I was like, man, all right. And so I did. And, but over time, everybody always used to say it's an acquired taste, and that's what it is. It surely is.
I didn't drink my first beer till I was 21.
Beer face?
Well, that's probably pretty smart.
No. I'm just saying. I know, right? But I mean, like wine coolers were like wine coolers or margarita was the only thing that I could stand the taste of. So it took me a long time to acquire a taste for beer.
When you're sitting at that dinner, do you have that better beer face where you're just trying to hold it off?
Right there. Yeah, of course I did. I held it off. It it becomes something that it took a while for me to get into. But I mean, now it's all
what you prefer.
Yeah, I kind of prefer it. But I was a vodka guy from the start, and which is nice because now we have, High Rock, and that's been kind of fun to get back into vodka. But I drank Boone's Farm. I did the wine coolers, Bartles and James.
Farm,
remember the Bartles and
James?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine.
The options today. Think about that when we were younger. That'd be crazy. There's too many choices.
Whew.
Yeah, Boone's Farm.
Yeah, that just
Yeah.
heebie-jeebies. Ugh.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now. So, I'm sponsored by Mountain Dew a long time, right? But our family is always, was even before that was a Sundrop family. We had Sundrop, which is, if you don't know what that is, it's kind of a regional thing. But it's like a Mountain Dew. Tastes like Mountain Dew Meliosa yellow soda.
Citrus, yep.
And that was regional to Salisbury, Kannapolis. So our family, way back when Dad was young, they've drank it forever. And I used to mix it with Jim Beam, and we called them Jimmy Drops. And that was pretty good, but pretty rough on you. And I never mixed soda with vodka before. I don't know whether it was the vodka or whatever, but it never went with soda. Have you ever drank a soda with like or a vodka with like Coke or Mountain Dew or anything?
No, I never.
No.
Yeah, I tried to mix.
It's usually juices.
Right.
Yeah.
I tried to mix vodka and Mountain Dew years ago, and it just doesn't work. But with High Rock and Sundrop is really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
You had a lot of people going on that April Fool's deal where like you put it out and people were like, this is so
Yes.
cool. And you're like, oh, no, this was a joke, but maybe we should actually
He
look
was
into
like,
this.
oh, really?
Yeah.
There was absolutely
Backpedal.
an agenda there.
Well,
Oh,
and the thing
100%.
about it is there's places, Cabarrus Brewing, I think, they've been making they made a Sundrop sour beer or something
yeah.
another,
Yeah.
or something. So it's like,
Yeah.
is this really coming down the
I-
pipeline?
Most things I do have like this agenda on the
calculated.
back end. Yeah,
Always,
very much,
yes.
yeah.
Especially if it's on, what did he used to say about talking to the media and now on social media? He's got
Yeah.
an agenda.
Calculated.
I will say, like,
Strategy.
I took Brad and them told me about a few years ago about the Jimmy Drops, and I was out of Sundrop one night, but I did have the Cherry Sundrop,
That
and
would be
Cherry
good.
Sundrop and Jim. Ooh,
Have you
that's
tried cherry
good.
Sundrop and vodka? That
I was
sounds
That might
gonna
be
say
good
cherry-
with the High
I
Rock.
should.
That was my first thought. That would be a good
Yeah.
vodka
I'm not
mixer.
just saying this, but the High Rock is so smooth. It goes so.
Everybody says that.
You're
You're not just
I'm
saying
proud of it.
Yeah.
If
Should
you
be.
ain't tried it,
Need to try it.
You want to prove me wrong? Go right ahead.
This
Get
is-
your bottle.
This could be a new segment, a weekly mixer with Dale.
Yeah. It goes really well with
It-
Sundrop. Probably most sodas, but I know it goes well with Sundrop, which I'm very happy about.
Well, we completely derailed that.
That's how these go.
What was the question?
What was? Did we got White Claw? Noah drinking a White Claw. I was like, how did we get here?
White Claw led us to real drink.
Yeah.
That's what's great about podcasts. It's like rabbit holes.
So this is a question coming frequently from the chat here on YouTube, as well as one that was submitted. And again, we kind of talked about this, but what was your take on the Ty and Sam fight? What should be done? And how do you feel more than anything about Ty not taking his helmet off?
That was really the biggest criticism I think at the end of the night was from social media was about the helmet. And I don't know where I don't know where I land on that because this has never really been a debate in the past about the helmet, and it started. I'm wrong about this, but I know last year with Harvick and Chase, and there was another incident I think with a driver or two that where this conversation about the helmet being on or off started. So I don't remember this conversation ever being important.
Yeah, if it was on or off.
In the 80s or 90s or 2000s, right?
Kenny Wallace said that you always
Left it on.
were learned to leave it on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you were taught to leave it on.
I guess to step back a little bit, I don't think any penalties should be given to any drivers. I didn't see anything that went over the line. All the on-track stuff, even after the checker flag, I'm fine with it. And I think everything that happened on pit road gets handled by the court of public opinion. The garage polices itself around things like that. Nothing that I saw went across the line into being a mockery or making the sport look bad. All the things that I saw going to create interest, going to sell tickets, going to get us in the news in a good way. And so, and I think we should not encourage Ty or Sam to go out on the racetrack and continue being crazy. But we definitely want to we don't want to dial them back. We don't want to pull we don't want to put them on a leash and say, behave. But you definitely don't want to encourage that either. I think you kind of got to let them work it out and try not to keep them from getting too unprofessional. But anyways, the helmet thing, I don't know. I mean, I think that in the heat of the moment, when you're down on pit road, it's hard to be critical because things down there are happening really fast, and things are being said that make a guy snap. Things are being done. Guys are making decisions on the fly. It's easy to say, "Oh man, Ty, you should have took your helmet off. Ty, you should have took a moment and taken your helmet off and squared up the fight, right?" But in the moment, who knows what any of us would have done? We don't know what Sam was saying to make Ty snap that way, and you're getting pushed over and over and over. I mean, eventually you're just going to want to go, right? You're going to swing. In a perfect world, the guys would get out, pull their helmets off, and go toe-to-toe and fight, and no one would get involved. No handlers would come around grabbing guys, and no crew members would get involved, and they would just scrap until it was over, and they just got exhausted, right? And NASCAR wouldn't call them to the hauler and wouldn't hold their hand and wouldn't tell them to grow up and be good little boys. None of that would happen, right?
I have to wonder what would it look a little different though had Ty paused, took his helmet off, sat it at his race car, and then come to have his confrontation and fuss and all. Would the fight have escalated the way it did? So
maybe
because he had some protection in the long run.
Yeah.
So who knows?
All right. Actually, this is not a question, but it's been funny since we talked about Sun Drop. People are dropping in the chat saying that they have unopened bottles of Sun Drop with your dad's 1979 Rookie of the Year logo on it. There's a lot of people that have that Sun Drop.
Don't try that with it. It's probably not gonna be good.
Yeah.
Probably not good anymore.
That's the glass bottles with the pulp in
I
it.
can see it exactly.
With pulp?
Well, the stuff settled to the bottom. Yeah, it's like got this stuff at the bottom.
Yeah, don't open those.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good. A question here from Lindsay Ward. You all get 5 tracks that you want NASCAR to race at more than once a year. What would those 5 tracks be?
More than once a year.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the Nashville Fairgrounds. I'm going to pick I'm going to pave Bristol and run there twice, and with asphalt, to be clear. And I'm going to seal or repave Richmond and run there twice. I'm going to go to Martinsville. I might even try to see if asphalt works in the corners there now that we have the technology. There's 4. And then I would make sure we ran at Daytona twice.
Nail on the head.
Before somebody changes that for no damn reason.
I just wrote yours down because I don't know. Sounds like a good
good
list
with
to
that?
me. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
She's like, yep, sounds good.
Right.
Yeah. And North Wilkesboro when it gets rebuilt.
Twice.
Boom.
Yeah.
Twice.
Heck
I like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
On cue, I was going to say, a couple
Heck
people
yeah.
said North Wilkesboro.
Yeah.
Good job, Kelly. There you go.
Y'all might want to keep your ear to the ground
Oh, yeah.
on some North Wilkesboro news
What?
coming.
You heard
Wait,
it
what?
here.
That's all I'm going to say.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, dang.
So let's
That
let
made
the
us all
suspense
speechless.
Just hang there like a cloud, like fog.
yeah. People are probably wondering what hand signals are going on behind the scenes right now of like, what are we allowed to talk about? Last one here from this is from Caleb. Was it difficult switching from an open face to a full face helmet in 2002, especially at tracks like Daytona and Talladega?
Great
So
question.
it wasn't, because I wore a full face helmet in the street stock
Yeah.
car and in the late model for a few races. So I had been, familiar with a full face helmet, and I don't know why I went to an open face for the Xfinity series, and then the Cup series for a little bit.
Probably because Dad told you to.
Probably, but I think he was, he appreciated the vision that allotted him, and he would even take the Simpson helmet and actually cut it back even further. He cut this part back. Yeah.
I don't think that's SFI rated, is that?
Dad did a lot of things to his helmets that weren't.
Yeah.
But and I followed suit. I mean, I did it because he did it. But I went to a full face, and it was fine. I liked it. It wasn't as cool because at the time we didn't really have the air conditioners and so forth working as well, so it was a bit stuffy and real sweaty. But with the open face, man, your air was moving. You were feeling air all the time, and it was nice. It was nice. But with the full face, you were sweating like crazy, and so you were always kind of wiping, raising your visor, wiping, shutting, raise, shut, wipe. It was under caution. You're just constantly wiping your face off because that stuff, you couldn't have that pouring down in your eyes. But eventually the cooler systems got better and better, and then, the helmet got more and more comfortable over time.
Are you allowed to wear an open face helmet now?
I don't know.
Probably. I don't know either. Interesting.
And then this is actually just kind of a question for me. Wyatt made the jump to a micro this year, which is crazy to think about. And I know you've watched, Carson and Kennedy as well race. Is there nerves from both of you now watching Wyatt make that jump up to a micro? I mean, that is
definitely for this mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, we run tomorrow night, the micro, still running box stocks on Tuesday. But, it's a big deal. My thing is that you can be pretty racy in the box stock and, lean on the other competitors. And in the micro, I'm just afraid of what happens if you do that and you go flipping down the back stretch and whatnot. So it's a little nerve-wracking. My husband's like, last night or night before last, I don't remember, he's like, yeah, we'll be in a midget by this and this. And I was like, no, we're going to be in a stock car.
Yeah.
I think that's Dale's hope too.
I'm just sitting back watching to see what path he ends up taking because it's, in this part of the country forever, you ran a 4-cylinder. You went to Hickory or a paved track somewhere, ran a 4-cylinder and then a limited car and then a late model and then you maybe raced a truck. That was the way you progressed into NASCAR. And now with Millbridge becoming what it is and all these kids running these wing cars, the karts, they're headed toward a sprint car or a world outlaw career that might take them to Indy for all you know. You just don't know where this goes, right? I don't think that I've ever seen outside of Kyle Larson and there's a couple new guys that like Reddick and a few other guys that are Christopher Bell.
Yeah.
So that's new to me, right? That route to NASCAR seems so foreign to me, even though it's worked and it's working, but maybe that's the new thing. Maybe that's the new route, right? To get into the sport is starting at dirt tracks and racing dirt cars, sprint cars and all those things all the way up into a truck, right? The first real stock car on asphalt you get in is an ARCA K&N car or a truck, right? In 2 decades ago, you'd had several years of short track racing under your belt before you on asphalt before you got in an ARCA car, but now you're coming right off the dirt track to do it.
Yeah, and it's the kids. It's, you see like Brexton Bush and Boyer's kid. They're all running this dirt. The
young.
Only kid that I'm looking at, though, that's doing a path that I would have taken is Keelan.
Yeah.
Keelan's doing the
Everything.
WKA karting, but he's doing Legends,
it.
and it's pavement-oriented. Like, he's the only one that I haven't seen go, we're going to go put Keelan in a micro. He's the one that's taking the path that I would have projected.
It feels like to me,
interesting.
It feels like to me that Kevin has the way I view Kevin's personality is that he has this master plan that he doesn't want to share with anyone else. And he is going to, as long as obviously Keelan is interested and willing, he's going to shape Keelan into this sort of perfect package of a race car driver, right? And at the end of the rope, when we all get down toward, when they're all sort of graduating into the top 3 series, Keelan's going to be like miles beyond what these other guys are, right? If any of them if they all progress together, right? Keelan's going to have like all these attributes above the other drivers because of he's going to be driving everything. It seems like when I talked to Kevin, Kevin was telling me how diverse Keelan's experiences have been, I was like, what? He's all over the country, right? Racing something different and getting so much different experiences as far as power to weight ratio and things like that. Asphalt and dirt and everything else. He's gonna be quite the little shoe.
Perfect. Well, that is it for Ask Junior this week.
All right, y'all. I appreciate it. Xfinity supports the Ask Junior segment of the show, and I've talked about it. They are a proud premier partner of NASCAR. I'm a customer. Xfinity X5. It's more than fast. It's reliable, powerful. It's secure, and you can do everything that you love on the internet faster with Xfinity X5. So I got more than enough speed over my place. We're doing it all. I got baby cams. I got baby cams, security cams. I got iRacing. I got sim rigs.
Bring me Xfinity X5.
I got all everything hooked into that stuff. It's still we're digging.